so nervous.
Welcome to Cigar Hustlers Podcast, episode 315.
Forgot to put the
The number one cigar podcast with the world famous cast, where we bring you the latest news and insights into the world of premium cigars. In this episode, we dive into the big stories of the week. The King Mike Stepankevich and director of social media of Cigar Hustler, Mike BDP Palmer, are two dynamic individuals who co-host the captivating Cigar Hustlers Podcast. And me, I'm Phil. So grab your favorite smoke, sit back, and join us for another exciting episode of Cigar Hustlers Podcast.
Yay!
Mike squared.
Camera one, please. Welcome to the Cigar Hustler Podcast. Just heads up, we're still proudly sponsor free, but a massive shout out to our amazing patrons of the Patreon. Thanks to your unwavering support, we're able to deliver unfiltered, unbiased opinions on all things cigars and personalities in the cigar world. Your backing makes it possible for us to keep it real for our listeners. Cheers to you. If you'd like to become a patron member, go to www.patreon.com and search a Cigar Hustlers Podcast.
Yes.
Now, it's two mics in front of mics with a guy.
It's Mike and Mike
Right,
Productions.
Mike and Mike Productions. Camera two, please.
And we have a Phil.
And that's
Okay.
Phil. That's Phil. By the way, Phil, your PCA ID says Phil.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome. We did that today.
Nice.
Perfect. And we have Clean Fabien here today.
That's right. That's right.
It was the first thing I noticed when I saw you, dude. I was like,
He's clean.
he was...
I miss the pajamas he used to do during COVID.
I was just talking about that to him. I just
Yeah,
said, hey,
miss
look
the
at how far
pajamas.
you've come. You're
Right.
so well groomed. That's a shiny, like you polished that head today. I mean, my goodness.
That's really close.
I took 17 minutes and I actually shaved my head.
I like that.
Wow.
I had 17 hairs.
Used to be dirty, Fabien.
Used to be.
Now
that's
he's
right.
clean.
Long time
Do you have
ago.
that palm
ago.
shaver, or do you do it with a regular razor?
With a regular razor.
Oh, okay.
He's a professional. He's been that way for years.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Down to a science.
Fabien has seen me through some shit.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Fabien has seen me through a lot of shit. I mean, he has seen me fucking break down in tears at a fucking table.
Oh,
Yeah.
Aw.
Like the whole shebang.
Why
Like,
were you crying?
what?
Yeah.
Why were you crying?
we've never seen you cry.
I was
I've seen you
I was pretty upset. I was upset at a company. At a company. I don't know.
Yes, you
I don't know
said-
if we're allowed to mention things or not. I don't know. I don't know what you're comfortable with and what you're not comfortable with.
Right. We don't know what you
I am
signed.
comfortable with everything.
All right.
Oh,
All right.
okay. So
All right,
go
take
ahead.
your pants off.
Again?
So,
Again?
Oh, so I
Yeah.
could put my pants back on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
What are we smoking? Let's get into that. Let's.
Oh, yeah. What are we smoking here?
What do you like to smoke? Of these four, we have four amazing.
Okay, so I
Aganorsa,
usually start with a nice citrus mint hookah.
right?
Oh.
Okay.
Oh,
We
Oh,
don't-
but today we're talking about Aganorsa
Right.
tobacco. Okay,
Aganorsa
so
tobacco,
we're
yeah.
talking about Aganorsa tobacco, the largest grower of tobacco in Nicaragua. And
Really?
In the industry, the number two. Number two
Okay.
only after, can you guess?
Oliva?
You have a guess, Mike? Other Mike?
Number two. Who's the number one? Cigar Hustlers Podcast.
Cigar Hustlers Podcast.
Well, they're number two.
Let's see. Anywhere in the country, Dominican Republic would be Fuente. I mean,
Well, no, in
No,
the
in
whole industry.
in the whole
and-
right.
We are number two in the whole industry. We are
Right.
number one in Nicaragua,
So-
but number two in the whole
So
industry.
Cohiba or something in
And
Cuba. Or some
I
shit?
will say that they have farms in Nicaragua and farms in Honduras.
Mm.
Placencia?
Yes.
Hey!
Oh, hey.
Oh yeah, that was an easy one. Why wouldn't I think Placencia?
Yeah. So if you really look at it, if you compare Placencia, Nicaragua to Aganorsa, Placencia is about 70% of Aganorsa. But the problem is Placencia in Honduras is
Eclipses.
Big.
the exact same size
Right.
as their Nicaragua. So
Ah.
yeah.
It's so funny because when you said it, I'm like, wow, I thought Placencia was the number one guy.
They are.
But
They are
yes,
in the industry.
right.
In the industry.
I like that. I like what you did there.
But in Nicaragua, we are number one.
Yes,
Okay.
I like this.
All right.
Okay,
So-
so
So we make a lot of tobacco, and thus we have a lot of cigars, and we make a whole bunch of different cigars. And I brought a few to highlight, right?
Right.
So we'll start with this one right over here in this
Yes.
box. This is the nice signature, and it's a Corojo signature.
Corojo.
Now the important thing about this line is it has a special tobacco in there, which is called Media Tempo. Have you
Right.
heard of Media Tempo?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you like to?
I
tell
don't know
the
anything about it. No, I've
Oh,
heard
you
of
just
it.
heard about it.
I've heard about it.
Oh,
I've
okay,
heard
all
of
right. So
Halftime.
Media Tempo was made famous by the Cubans,
Yeah.
and it was a leaf that is used in their bejiques, which whether it's the 52, 56, 54s, it's the top of the top. Not every single plant not even a single tobacco plant creates a media tempo, which is in a sense the best of the best of the best.
Wow.
So it is the thickest, the most oily, the most flavorful, and we have one leaf of that in our signature line. And this is a Corojo. This signature line comes in a Maduro and a Corojo, but the red packaging is Corojo. So that's what this is.
There's that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Then on the other side we have the
we
special
jumped to Maduro.
Anniversario,
Yes.
Anniversario Maduro,
Oh,
and then
nice.
Anniversario Connecticut,
Aha.
which
Oh.
both of them used to be full boxes, but
Aha.
someone's brother, ran into me
Yes.
and asked me for a Connecticut, so I opened the box
Aha.
and he took one.
He likes the Connecticut's.
So he took one, but that is our Anniversario. In our grand scheme of things, that is our most expensive cigar in our whole portfolio. But if you compare it to other cigar brands, that cigar would most likely be found $15 to $17.99 in
not too
most
bad.
stores. That's in states that have no tobacco tax. States with tobacco tax, it varies a little bit. But is the Anniversario? I really enjoy that
Don't work
Connecticut. That is the one we released at the show.
Nice.
At the PCA show in 2023, and it was really good. The Maduro was released the year before, so they're box pressed. I believe both those sizes are 6x52, and box press Toros. Now, I also brought a rare leaf. Now, rare leaf Maduro. So here's a special thing about rare leaf.
It's rare.
It's
And
rare.
it's a leaf.
It's very rare.
The why do we call it rare leaf? So first of all,
It's not a lot of them.
in the Aganorsa world, we have two types of accounts.
Yes.
We have a regular account and we have what we call a select account. Okay.
Oh, which one are we?
You are
Select.
select account.
Let the man talk. Like
Okay. You are a select account.
I
And
just didn't
what
want
select
to. I didn't want
accounts
to throw
are?
him to the wolves. What if he didn't know? I was just trying to help him.
He
Yeah.
knows. He knows.
He didn't know.
It
I'm-
looks- it
I'm
looks
in
like
marketing.
He knows a lot here.
He's in marketing. He
I'm in
knows.
marketing. I'm not in sales.
Oh, that's true.
There you go.
Most of the stuff I make up anyways. But, Team Green, by the way, Team Green.
By the way, hat on the
Yes.
table's bad luck, bro. You
Uh-oh.
can't. You got to take it off the table.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then it's on the head. Okay.
All
All
right.
right. Team Green.
Perfect.
Okay. So Rare Leaf is a cigar that we only make and we only sell to select accounts. And select accounts are partners accounts. They're accounts that do big business with us. And we go out of our way to give them
big
a special
business.
cigar, which is a rare leaf.
deal.
Oh, we're over here now.
What makes a rare leaf? Well, since I started the whole show by saying that we're the largest grower of tobacco in Nicaragua.
Right.
On average, we make about 120 to 150,000 pounds of tobacco every year.
Wow, that's a lot.
And after that whole tobacco, all that tobacco is processed and put in different categories and whatnot.
Right. Separated
The top
and all
2
worked
to
out.
3% of the leaves. So again, it's like the media tempo, but on a higher scale. So the top 3% of the tobacco, so the thickest, the most oiliest, which a little bit later I could tell you why our tobacco is always oilier than all other tobaccos. That's a story for 20 minutes
It's
from now.
not some amazing
bring
stock
that
cut.
back.
It's stock cut. We stock
get
cut
to that.
everything.
No, we don't stock cut
Okay,
anything.
it's a joke.
Yeah.
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 That rare leaf is only used for the rare leaf cigars. Thus, we don't really make too many of them, but
Right.
we have them at all anytime. So it's not like other brands who have their special exclusive cigars that they only deliver once a month or every full moon or breast cancer appreciation month or whatever.
Oh, I don't even know what you're referencing.
This
Yeah,
this
who knows
right
what that
here,
is?
you
Yeah, so
can
crazy.
order.
Rare pink stuff.
They can order stuff every month and twice on Sunday if they want.
Oh.
So we have in a Corojo and a Maduro, but this is the Maduro. So I brought a little mixture.
Assortment.
You guys pick which one you want to smoke.
What are you smoking?
I'm going to smoke a Connecticut.
You're gonna smoke a Connecticut.
Yeah, I'm going to smoke a Connecticut. So
Okay.
if you would pass me a Connecticut, I will smoke the Connecticut. That's right.
Is this your first cigar of the day?
This is my second cigar of the day. I had my first cigar of the day was the JFR Connecticut.
Ah,
So now I'm going
so
to
double Connecticut.
a little bit stronger Connecticut. This is not your average Connecticut. If I could describe this cigar in one word, it would be meaty. Okay,
Meaty.
meaty. You're feeling like you're smoking a cigar. It feels like the box
you
press
wanna
feels
chew.
really, really good. You want to
Okay.
chew it. Lots of flavor, lots of strength. It's not necessarily overpowering, but a lot of flavor.
Okay. What are you gonna go with? I'm so
No,
nervous.
that was a really good description.
Yeah,
you
he really
just
did.
gave.
Yeah, it was
really,
great on
really
that.
sold
Connecticut?
those well,
You
didn't
do
you?
the Connecticut?
I smoked the JFR Connecticut already this morning also.
So did he.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
So
I'm
we
gonna
shared
go.
one.
I'm gonna go with this one.
You're gonna go a Media Tempo.
Oh,
Media
Media
tempo.
tempo.
Media tempo.
Signature, Corojo, Robusto.
Baby Phil, what are you doing, Baby Phil?
I'm going signature. I've never smoked that before.
Oh.
This one.
Yeah.
All right, here it comes.
Signature?
Oh, there you go. Oh, nice. You caught it.
We practice.
Let me
okay,
see.
all right.
Should I do the signature?
You should do a signature.
I've smoked
No,
all
no.
the
Why don't you do something different?
Do the Maduro.
You've already had
Or the rare leaf. Do the rare leaf. Well, the rare leaf, out of all of them, the rare leaf would probably be the strongest. And it would be a medium to full.
All right, we're gonna do rare leaf. I've had this before, but thank you very much.
There you go. That's a ribbon.
You get the
It's a
ribbon too.
ribbon.
And you can have the ribbon.
So yes, as I was saying before, yes, Fabien, we've known each other
Long time.
for quite some time. Yes.
How long? How long?
Well,
Holy shit!
the first time I was here, it was like tattoo and cigars.
Yeah,
So-
TNT.
Oh,
TNT.
back in those days.
So he
Yeah,
was-
back
it
in
was
those days.
14 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
Yeah. He used to work for a company
Okay.
that
That's still around.
it's still here. They're not going anywhere.
Right.
Unfortunately,
It got bought once.
got bought once.
Oh. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Previous.
Cigar Hustler is the goddamn fucking best.
Okay, yeah. Didn't get bought by that company,
Yeah.
though. No.
No.
But you know who that was, right?
Who?
That was Pedro.
That's Pedro.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Hit it again. Hit it again.
A little liquored up Pedro, but yes.
Yeah.
They should play
Cigar
the game.
Hustler is the goddamn fucking best.
Yeah.
That is
That
Pedro.
is definitely Pedro. So we did a show with him.
Uh-huh.
And then, he's like, well, what do you think? I'm like, well, you listen to it and you tell us what you think. He's like, what? And he listened to it and he's like, what do you think? And I said, well, you're a little half in the bag and, maybe we let that one go.
Maybe we don't play that way.
So we kept a couple clips.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. So that was 2 beers. Two beers Pedro.
Yeah, that was 2 beers.
2
And it
beers,
was the Nicaraguan beer. What is that
The
called?
Tonia.
Yeah, that's it. So it's,
Yes.
it's like alcohol 0.0001. Yeah.
It's like 2 Michelob Ultras or 2 of those Corona 0%.
That was all it took.
Okay, now does someone
need
have
a-
a
do you need
cutter
a
and a
cutter?
lighter?
Oh.
There,
I
have
can
this
borrow.
lovely cutter.
Oh, there you go.
the
Perfect.
special one.
I've been
Look at
using
this
it.
beautiful cutter right here.
My scissors have been broken.
Oh, nice.
Again? Why do you keep breaking scissors?
They break. This has no fuel. Fuck.
Oh, that's the famous Dunbarton.
Yes.
It's the famous. Oh, I heard a story about this. Is this the actual cutter or this is a replica of the actual cutter?
That's the
Well, that is the cutter. The original one was sold, so that's the.
Oh,
that's
okay.
the
All
one
right.
after.
Okay. All right. So
That's
it's
the replacement.
a replacement of the original.
Yes, that was
which
sold.
was on someone's desk for a long time.
Yeah.
And if something doesn't move here in 37 days, it gets sold. Okay.
Yeah, it just
Right.
finds its way on eBay.
Okay.
apparently.
All right. Okay.
There's a business to run here.
All right. Yes.
Yeah, money to be made, baby. Let's go.
Everything's for sale.
Right.
Everything's for sale.
Yeah, man. So you were part of the Decepticons for a while there,
Oh, I like that name.
That I was.
and then you. What happened there? Are we allowed to talk about that? What the fuck happened? Because you were there, and then there's no more.
I left.
Dirty Fabien was no longer dirty.
You were there a long time.
I was there for 19 years.
Wow.
Wow.
That is a long fucking
I was-
time.
I
One
was
more,
there
you would have had a retirement.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing, right? So you start working and you start doing something, and what you're doing starts working, and sales happen and whatnot. So I had a pocket full of business cards. Whether I was a sales rep, I was a regional manager, I was director of sales, I was director of marketing, I was director of international sales, I was director of marketing consumer engagement, I was director of marketing for events and whatnot. I did it. I did it all. I did a little bit of everything. So it's good. And for me, it's always very important to get information from the streets, right?
Right.
So there's a lot of people who like to stay in the castle and the big white towers, ivory towers, and then there's people who like get information on the street, because if you get information from the street, most likely it's going to be a little truer, and you can react and change if things need to be changed, right? So I spent a lot of time on the streets, and it got to about 20-25 days a month on the road.
That's a lot.
That is,
I would say that's a lot.
Especially in February, because you don't get those extra 2 days
Yeah.
to relax.
Well, this year you get an extra day. I heard.
Well, I know
My son told me.
it's a leap year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's very excited about it.
Imagine those guys who were born on February 29th, like 16 years ago,
Yeah.
who are only 4.
4, right.
Yeah, that's what he said. He goes, so what happens if that was his, like he was asking me those questions. I go, I don't know. He celebrated fucking March 1st.
Yeah, you pick a different day.
So literally, there's a guy who was born in 1900, February 29th,
Right.
and he's celebrating his like 26th birthday or 28th birthday, like right now, like this year. It's gonna be cool.
He's just figuring it out. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
he
He's
is.
fine.
He is.
He can now buy drinks, and he's
Yeah.
Yeah, every
finally-
3 years he can come out of his coffin and party, I guess.
So I'm sorry. So go ahead. So the streets, 25 days a month.
So the way I set up my schedule is always six months in advance, right?
Mhm.
Because since I was doing a lot of events and a lot of promotions, you want some leeway to schedule things in cigar stores and barn smokers and all that stuff. And I started doing stuff internationally and when you're international and you want to go from country to country, you have to make sure that the guy who's picking you up at the border is ready to pick you up at the
Right.
border
Right.
and
get the
whatnot.
visas all set up and everything.
Exactly.
Right.
So you need a lot of leeway and whatnot. And I had no problem. I was working 20 days, 25 days. And I was telling them I need to be home a little more because there's paperwork that they wanted. There's reports that they wanted and there's meetings that they wanted. And I think, for me, COVID didn't happen fast enough because after COVID, everyone started doing things remotely and through Zoom call.
Right.
And I was asking for Zoom calls back in 2014 and they're like, yeah, no, we need you in this meeting.
Right.
So whatnot. So there were times where I was in Europe all week. I would fly back on Sunday, be in the office on Monday, and then Monday night start flying back to Europe. And every week I would do that. And instead of spend a whole month in Europe and visiting stores and whatnot, I was, it's a lot of, in my mind, wasteful money, all these tickets back and forth.
All the back and forth.
Right.
So as I'm scheduling my trip for beginning the first 2020, the first 6 months, I dropped down to 15 days, 2 weeks on the road, and 2 weeks I was in the office and I was going to be around for all these meetings and so whatever. And they're like, yeah, no, you're doing a great job being on the road 20, 25 days. Keep it up. And I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to do 20, 25 days
Thank
anymore.
you very
right?
much.
They're like, well, if you don't do it, then, you might need to, go somewhere else. And I'm like, okay, all right. Then let me work on my letter of resignation. And that's that. And I guess for them, maybe it was like a game of chicken that they thought I would never.
They didn't think you would do it.
Exactly. And
Well, after 19 years, I mean, yeah. They're probably thinking, nah, he's
He
not
ain't
going.
leaving. He'll
Yeah.
get-
yeah, he's
he'll
not
go back.
going anywhere. Yeah,
Get him a new suitcase. He'll be fine.
The guy smokes sweet cigars.
Yeah,
He
but-
doesn't know anything.
But this was partially along the way. I mean, Nick had gone.
Yep.
Steve had gone. I mean, like you were one of the last of the
I was one of the last. Yeah, I mean,
of the old guards.
myself, there's always a conversation between myself and Joey Reisenbach, who is in marketing department. He's the one who does the beautiful logos and all that stuff. We were hired pretty much on the same day, and he's the last guy. I mean, in the true Drew estate, I mean, there's Jonathan Drew, and then there's Joey,
Right.
and that everyone else is newer. You
Right.
know, so I was one of the original guys and whatnot, and it's not like I was asking for more or more money, or I was asking for a cushy corner desk, or I was literally saying I'd be in the office 7 more days than I
Right.
actually am, and
Right.
and you're asking me to be in the office, but you're asking me to be on the road. And finally, they're just like, I'm just like, you know what? So here, let me just take my schedule I just turned in that you don't want, and here's my letter, and I'm out of here.
That was
And-
it.
Yep. And they're like, oh, okay. All right.
Wow, he did it. Look at that.
Yeah.
I guess he's leaving.
Yeah.
What do we do now?
I never knew that story.
Yeah.
So
So
you just kind of disappeared. I called after and I
Yep.
checked in on you and see nothing, but I didn't want to
Ask or pry.
at that point.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
I was happy. I had just bought a house, 18 months prior. I was
That you never saw.
with my beautiful wife, my beautiful girlfriend, which now is my wife. And I never saw her. And then I realized, I'm like, oh crap, this house is a beautiful house. I have a pool. My wife is beautiful. I like hanging out with her. So, in the first 8 years of hanging out with her, since I was on the road all the time, it felt like 8 years was like 1 year.
Right.
And then I stopped working and I'm stayed at home. And then that first month felt like 3 years in that relationship. Right. So it went backwards or something changed.
You started dating finally.
But yeah, I mean, I finally got to know who I was living with those 4 days, right? So I was by my pool, in the pool, usually every single day, other than when it was raining for that 1 hour because I didn't want to get hit by lightning. But I was in my pool smoking a hookah and smoking a cigar and hanging out. COVID happens. And everyone needs to be, sequestered for like 15 days. So I had a good friend, Jared, and we sequestered together and we did a little podcast fun show on Facebook. For 15 days, we were smoking a hookah. It was two guys smoking a hookah and having fun. And the thing that I miss is I was on the road for a long time, and I met a lot of good people. And, you and your brother, a long time. 10, 15 years.
Right.
And I miss the relationship that I created, but at the same time, I was going nuts in my head. And I was, my doctor, I was 40, how old? I was 46. And my doctor goes, you have the body of a 59-year-old.
Nice.
Like, how does that happen?
Thanks, Doug. Right.
It's all those air miles and those small hotel rooms and the crap food you have to eat at 11 o'clock at night because all the good restaurants are closed, right? So I had to decelerate my usage of my body, which now as 4 years later, now I go to the doctors and he goes, well, I don't know what you did, but now you have the body of a 56-year-old. So in 4 years, I actually gained 3 years, right?
With the clock ticking. That's fantastic.
Exactly. I put a stop on that clock and the days went by. So yeah, I feel a lot better. I'm happier and whatnot. And for 4 years, I smoked a hookah and I smoked cigars, and I told everyone that ever called me, hey, I would never go back in the cigar industry. There's too many nut jobs.
There is.
I have a lot of friends, and I'll talk to them when I'm in their area and this and that, whatever. But there's a lot of nut jobs, crazy people, and lots of ego in this industry.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it is so nice to have you on this podcast because it's like, like for one, you're totally honest and you're a breath of fresh air, and like we go back a long fucking way. And now at least I don't sound like I'm fucking completely insane. And it's, it's like, because I will say it and people are like, oh, yeah, whatever, dude.
He's angry.
Like, no, yeah. He's very, he's agitated.
So
he's
angry all the time.
So mad. I'm like, no, man, you don't get it. Like, you don't have to understand the shit that goes in this fucking industry.
Yes.
And how full of it
Yes.
so many people are.
At the end of the day, what are we doing? We're sitting around
fucking leaves,
smoking dried up leaves.
Yeah.
Right.
And yet people think that what they're doing is more important than the dude who carries the nuclear football, the dude who has to do brain surgery, the dude that has to figure out the right way sewage goes down, pipes and all that stuff. We're hanging out smoking dried up leaves. So put a smile on, turn that
just have a good time.
Down,
right. Do you know who I am?
Yeah.
Do you fucking no, I don't. I don't smoke cigars. I have no fucking idea who you are. Like, not a clue.
I'm not going to use real names,
okay,
but the people who know.
Yes.
Okay. So
if you know, you know.
I'm in Dortmund, which is the big inter-tobacco show.
Right.
Okay. Which is the PCA, IPCPR, RTDA show, which is the main show here in the US.
Right.
The inter-tobacco show is literally the biggest show of tobacco in the whole world, because PCA's is usually 2 halls in Las Vegas.
Right.
The Inter-Tobacco Show is 7 halls.
Wow.
Okay. So there's a crap ton of stuff. There's 2 halls of just premium cigars. There's a hall of just cigarettes. There's a hall of hookah. There's a hall for accessories. There's a hall for CBD and all that stuff. It's insane.
Everything.
No one can walk the show. It's only 3 days from 6 to 8. From 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. 3 days, that's it. No one ever walks the whole show. And people, you have the Europeans, the Asians, they're down every 15 minutes. They have the thing, and you got to have if you ever got a meeting, you got to figure it out in those. All right, okay,
right.
So I'm walking up an aisle and with another manufacturer, and I've known this other manufacturer since I've been in this industry since 2000, and let's just say that this, he's always wears a nice, Guayavera, nice, and he's known to wear like a fedora. Like,
okay.
All right.
A bit of a hat.
And he has, sometimes he has cigars in his pocket, and he always holds the cigar out in a certain way so you could see which cigar he's smoking and whatnot. And, I'm talking to him and this and that, whatever. And then there's these 4 Germans that are walking by. And I've known these 4 Germans because one of the 4 is actually an owner of a cigar store in Germany, a crazy, crazy dude, which I fell in love with. He actually introduced me to Facebook Live. I did my very first Facebook Live with him in his store, and apparently it was like 2 months after Facebook launched Facebook Live, right?
Oh,
so I
nice.
wow. Okay, so that was a few,
Viva launched
yeah.
the Facebook Live.
We will go and we will conquer.
The other 3 guys later on, I find out, work in his store, but they've heard crazy stories about
Legends
me, right?
of
So,
Right, Legends of Facebook.
so one of the guys comes back. He's like, oh my God, it's like it's so great to see you. You're back in the industry. I'm like, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Here, let me meet Christopher and meet Hans, and I forgot the other guy. So hey, how you doing? And then the other manufacturer, yeah, I heard that. But the other manufacturer's like, well, don't you know who I am?
Right.
There it is. Do you want to take a picture with me? And I'm just like, hey guys, this is so-and-so. And they're like, yeah, we know who this guy is. 25 years ago, he was a farmer. We want to talk to you. Simultaneously, I felt amazing and bad at the same
Right.
time.
Oh.
But it was that's what I mean about there's a lot of ego and there's a lot of craziness and whatnot in this industry. And I'm in a different company now, but I still put my pants on the same way, and I smoke different cigars. But you know what? I still treat the same people the same way as I did 15 years ago, whether they buy a box of cigars from me or they don't. That doesn't really matter. We're friends, and then there's business, and then there's business. And the true friends understand they can separate business from friendship.
Right.
So that's that. And I truly consider you and your brother friends.
Been on the Christmas card list, baby.
Exactly. It's always Mike.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, so that was that had to be remarkable for you. Like when you said, "Hey, fuck off," right, politely, and then you were did your hookah thing. I mean, we were watching that for a little while, right, and then you kind of faded out.
Yeah,
but we could check in from time to time.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was. I mean, you're a friend that we just pick right up where we left off. Mm-hmm. We don't have to fucking communicate every day. Hey, how are things, or whatever the case may be. We're good, right?
Yep.
Were there some that fell off?
Yeah.
That really kind of surprised you?
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
And then on the other end, there are some that I truly considered friends and whatnot, in which they totally forgot about me.
Right.
And because I was no longer there to help them out in a certain way,
right,
then
you were no longer Decepticon.
My friendship was not as good or favorable or as important to them.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, man, I could read people pretty well, and I was just deceived.
Didn't see that one
by
coming.
a lot. By there's more people I was deceived by than people I. And at the same time, there's a few people which I didn't really spend too much time with, which right when I saw them again, it just started right where we left and whatnot. And now I value those guys even more. So I mean, it's really, really cool. Right. Yeah.
Well, you couldn't help me back in the day anyways. No. Like your hands were fucking tied. There's no way.
My hands are tied, but I think in my own way, I helped you by just being truthful.
Oh my God. Yeah. 100%. 100%. You were very open, very honest with me. Like when I said, "Hey, fuck you, I'm not doing this." I remember you came up to us and you said, "Hey man, that was pretty cool, man. And that was the best thing that you could have done for yourself." And and you were representing the company at that time. So,
here's the thing. My dad taught me this a long time ago, and my dad worked for the same company for 60 some years, right? He started as a sales rep and he ended up as the president. All right. Okay.
Wow.
And the company that he worked for got bought out twice and this and that, whatever. And then they started buying other companies and whatnot. So, but he told me, he's like, companies may come and go, but the one thing that never does is your word.
Right.
So if you ever have a chance, or if you're ever walking down and there's you're on the fork in the road, first of all, pick up the fork. But the second of all, you always go with your word above the company, because that will never stray you the wrong direction.
Right. Because at the end of the day, a company, if they're bought or sold or whatever, you're just a number. You're just a digit.
Exactly.
And they don't give a shit about you.
Yep.
Yep. Try explaining that to people.
I know. No.
And they don't get it.
Nope.
They don't understand it. So
because you're angry.
Which, by the way,
because I'm angry.
Once this podcast goes live, I need the link, because my dad is like my number one fan, and he's seen every single podcast that I've done. So I want to take 5 seconds. Dad, thank you very much for all the knowledge that you've
that's
ever
awesome.
given me for all these years. And sometimes I've listened. Well, I've listened all the time, but sometimes I followed through and sometimes I haven't.
Right.
I should be following through a lot more. But thank you for all your support and your love. And I love you and I love Mom. So
That's
I'm glad
awesome.
you're
That's
watching
nice.
this.
How
So,
old's your dad?
What's the timestamp?
My
No.
dad is
30 old.
85. My dad's 85 and my mom's 84.
Oh,
And
shit.
yeah, and they're completely healthy and whatnot. And you know, they live in
Knock
West
on
Palm
wood.
Beach. And
That was going to be my next
yeah,
question.
they live in West Palm Beach and I see them as much as I can.
Good for you.
Wow. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
So I'm sure he'll be happy when I say that because he then forwards that podcast to all his other friends and
Right.
whatnot. So
Nice.
props, Dad.
Right.
Yes.
Like, see, my son loves me.
Yes, I do.
Right?
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
See, my. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yes. Go ahead.
I feel the question you're about to ask me.
Whoa.
And
okay.
the question you were about to ask me was, remember 20 minutes ago, you said that Aganorsa tobacco is different than any other tobacco.
Exactly is what I was thinking.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
and why is it so oily?
Why is it
okay,
so
and
oily?
why it's so
Please tell
oily?
us.
Okay, so here's the thing,
Yeah.
right?
Is it stock cut?
Okay, it's stock
You're
cut.
stuck in
Yeah,
the
we
stock
cut.
cut
So
there.
because Drew Estate claims that what they do is they chop the leaf
Oh.
and they hang it by the stem, and it's stock cut. That's what makes it so oily. Is the legal
Well,
promote.
what they do is they cut the plant,
Right.
and then they shove a stick through the root through the plant, and then they hang the plant upside down
Right.
so all the nutrients flow to the
Right.
to the
Yeah,
to the
that's
leaves.
right. That's what they claim.
So they and, listen. When I was there, I went to a barn in Connecticut, which I
Yeah.
actually saw
That's what
stock
they-
cutting.
But that's
with-
what they've always done.
Okay, yeah. So that's
That's stock.
so that's that. All right. So, okay. So let me first
So,
start
anyways,
off.
please tell us about that.
Yes, let me first start off by saying every manufacturer can do this simple step, but decides not to, right? So in my 20 plus years in this industry, I visited 8 different factories, 5 of them in Nicaragua and 3 of them in the Dominican. So I'm by no means am I saying I visited every single one of them.
Right.
I have never visited a one from Honduras, but I'm kind of figuring they would do the same thing as Nicaraguan and Dominican Republic, right? Because in the world, there's Cuba, and then there's the New World, which the New
Right.
World is the Dominican, Nicaragua, and Honduras, and I mean,
Right.
you can say Costa Rica and whatever, all these other ones. So what they do is, and Mike, I'm sure you've been to a factory, and Mike, I don't know if you've been to a
No,
factory.
I have not.
Okay, so I'm just
It's
going
not
to
a
talk to
tobacco
this
factory.
mic in front of that mic.
Certainly,
Okay.
go right ahead.
So you've been to a factory,
I have.
and the person goes, whoever is showing you the tour, you end up in front of a pallone.
Yes.
Right? So a pallone is a big pile of bunches of tobacco, and each
Right.
bunch is 50 leaves.
Right.
Okay. And this is where the tobacco is after it's picked and it's green, it's hung, it's air dried or fire cured, but mostly air dried. It turns brown. And then these leaves are then put in bunches of 50, and then these bunches are put on top of each other in this big pallone, and that's where the fermenting of the tobacco happens.
Yes.
And I'm sure that one there in front of the pallone, then they find this other place where they're moving bunches from one pallone and they're creating a second pallone.
Right.
And as they're moving bunches of leaves from one pallone and creating a second pallone, they're spraying them with water. They're dipping them with water, and then
Right.
they're
Waving them,
Right.
drying them.
drying them or getting the
Gotta
excess
do this,
water
Michael.
off.
Gotta do this.
Yeah.
And please stop me at any time if I'm
No, you're
completely
good.
wrong.
You're good.
And then they put in this new pallone, and then you're told, and I've told this story a whole bunch of times to people when they went down to Cigar Safari, right? So I've been part of those people telling these stories, and then you go, okay, all right, we check these pallones, and there's the pallone has to get to a certain temperature,
Yeah.
and it's in the mid 120 to 130, and
Yeah.
and then you have to rotate them, and then 9 to 12 months later, then look at these beautiful dark leaves, and all the imperfections have been burnt off. There's
Yeah.
no more ammonias, and now we're ready to roll the cigars and this and that, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you were to come in to Aganorsa, which you are welcome anytime, and
Is there a trampoline?
There's no trampoline, and there's
Kind of a deal
A lot
breaker.
of weights.
I know.
Is there weights?
No, but you can.
It's a flex, guys.
But there's there's lots of tobacco you can move
Oh,
around,
pick up
right?
tobacco
So
with the
I mean
balloons.
bales.
free labor.
We have 50-pound bales, we have 75-pound bales, and we have 100-pound
And do
bales.
Wow,
lunges.
you-
Gotta do
Yeah,
lunge?
yeah.
Okay.
You can do lunges.
With it on your back.
Yeah. I mean, by all means, if you can help us move bales from one side to the other, you're probably going to move a lot faster than the Nicaraguans we have now. So
Right.
we can make an additional couple thousand cigars
Right.
while you're down
And
there.
you can pay me like $3.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Or we'll give you a free cigar.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, perfect.
Oh,
Better
nice.
than
I
that.
love cigars.
So you come to Nicaragua, you come to our factory, and I'll take you and we'll show you these beautiful pilones, and then I'll find an area where they're taking these bunches of leaves and they're moving it to another pilone,
Yes.
and you're seeing that they grab the bunches, they shake it up,
Right.
and then they put it in the next pilone, and so the leaves that were on the bottom are now on the top, and then
Right.
the one on the top are now on the bottom. And then I'm going to tell you, okay, all right, so these beautiful pilones, we check the temperature. It's always it's between 112 to 115 degrees
Right.
Okay.
in the center, and then we check it, and then we rotate it, and then you're going to go, hey, but Fabien, where's the water? You're not adding any water to this. I'm like, well, we're not adding water. Yes, we are. Our secret ingredient is time. Our pilone takes about 2 years to 2 years and 2 months for the whole tobacco to ferment.
Right.
Okay. Why do we not add water? Mike, you guys take showers every day. Hopefully, yes, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
for the
almost
most
every other day at
Right.
least.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Right.
What happens when you take a shower? Okay, you're washing off all the
All the
oils
oils
off
and
your
everything.
skin,
Right.
right? Okay. I'm not saying that other manufacturers are washing off the oils off the leaves, but anytime you add water to a leaf and then you shake the leaves out,
Right.
you have a better chance of the water solution with the oil to drip away.
Right.
And then if the polone is at a higher temperature, you also have a higher percentage chance of burning off some of these oils. Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
So
I'm with you.
so without water, our polones are always going to be 8 to 10 degrees lower. And because ours takes about 2 years for the whole production to do, we're not cooking them or we're not speeding up the process. So if you look at our Maduros and you compare our Maduros to any other Maduro from any other manufacturer, our Maduros are always going to be a little lighter because in a sense, we're not doing anything to the leaf that is cooking them or adding anything to the leaves, right? And sometimes if you look at JFR Corojo and JFR Maduros, other than the band, they almost look identical because some Corojo is going to be a little darker, some Maduros might be a little lighter. So you have two cigars that kind of look the same. But at the end of the day, our leaves are richer or oilier. So anyone who listens to this podcast that has these very high-tech, very special little scales, cooking scales in their kitchen or whatever, I challenge you to grab any Aganorsa cigar and any cigar from any other manufacturer, the exact same size. Our cigars will always slightly weigh a little more because there's always going to be a little more oil, thus a little more flavor in our leaves. Okay.
So,
And the last point is manufacturers did a shitty job about describing cigars, right? You have a scale of strength,
Right.
and then you have a scale of flavor. But we use the same words in the strength of flavor.
True.
So there's a lot of people that come into stores, and I'm sure that's your
It's
biggest
full
headache
body.
when you guys are in the store and someone's like, "Hey, I want a strong cigar." Well,
Right.
strong flavor-wise or strong strength-wise, right?
right.
So Aganorsa doesn't make any mild flavored cigars because our tobacco with the more the oilier
Right.
always starts at a medium. So we make mild strength,
Right.
but our mild strength start at medium flavor.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think the most aggravating thing that people ask me are where are the Cubans?
Okay.
And then I tell them the Cohibas are right here.
Do they buy some? And then you have the Romeo and Julietas. You want
Well,
Cristo.
yeah.
Right.
I mean, it really depends upon the level of type of fuckery that you have introduced yourself to me as. And if you know it all, I am not going to interject. Right?
Okay.
Not going to
Yeah.
correct them at all.
No. I mean, I had a guy one day, complete asshole. You need a light?
Yes. I
You have the lighter.
I spoke too much. I'll show you in front of
It's
you.
right here.
Oh, thank you.
It was a complete asshole. And he told me that he knew exactly what he was doing and blah, 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 blah. And he picked up a Fuente Gran Reserva. And I'm like, okay, no problem. Rung him up. This is probably 10 years ago. The guy then goes into the lounge.
Is that the last guy you rung up?
Yeah, that's the last
Probably.
guy.
Okay, all right,
That's the last guy.
Probably
So
so,
he's the reason why.
I got to
Okay,
be
right.
honest, bro. I don't think I have a key to the place.
He doesn't. You don't. You
Yeah.
don't have a key.
If I
You called
did,
me last time. You were.
if I did, I wouldn't even know.
Well, it's
where
not
it
like you're
is.
the first one here.
Yeah, or the last
Goddamn
one.
guy 10 years ago messed everything up. Huh?
Yeah,
Okay,
that was
all
it.
right,
This is
all
the guy.
right. Okay.
So he buys the Fuente Gran Reserva, and I'm like, okay. And he was shitty to me in the humidor. Like, oh, I'm like, okay, okay, I'll shut up. He goes to sit down in the lounge, and the Fuente, the Gran Reserva, has a Connecticut or a cedar around it with a ribbon, right? So he removes the ribbon, but he keeps the cedar on it. And I just said, I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna let this happen.
Just let this thing burn up right in
So
front of
he
us.
fucking lights it up, and he's like, "Oh my god, this thing's on fire!" I was like, "Holy shit, it is!" What's going on with that?
You just lit the wood, sir.
Is it broken? Oh, dude, there's wood around that cigar. Oh, there's cedar. You didn't know that? Oh man, too bad. I'm so sorry.
It's a rare one. They don't usually do that.
Yeah.
He wanted extra cedary flavor.
He's just looking for that. I mean, that's got to be toxic. Come
Yeah.
on, that's no bueno.
Yeah.
So why does he have his baby mask?
I
on?
don't know why he has the baby mask.
You want to do the thing?
No, there's
No,
not.
no.
I told you there's not one today.
Oh, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
It looked like it was specific.
That was last week's.
Well, babies never listen.
Yeah, babies. never
babies don't
listen.
listen.
Babies never listen.
No.
I wonder why he put it on.
All right.
I like the vein on the side of that thing. That's
It's
nice.
like he's about to explode. He does Phil's fun facts, and he's disappointed we don't have it.
He's just so
Oh.
mad.
No fun fact, huh?
No fun fact.
So you would argue that by weight, your cigars weigh more.
Weigh a little more, yeah.
A little more.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
Have we ever weighed? And
I'm sure that we. I mean, this cigar feels heavy. But you could always add more tobacco. Like a manufacturer could add more tobacco.
Yeah, but by adding more tobacco to the same kind of ring gauge will stress out the
The wrapper,
flow.
right?
Will
Or
stress out the flow,
could
and
plug.
then it
And
could
get
be plugged, right?
True.
So that's that.
Well, yes, yeah, that's true. I mean, but I think that also the question there would be: are manufacturers in general putting less tobacco in their fillers than they should be? And I would argue that a lot of them are.
There's that one guy.
There is that one guy got super mad when I told him, "Hey, listen, you really should have more tobacco because at $14 a cigar,
Your cigar weighs half the weight of the other one.
it's you're coming in light, dude."
Uh-huh.
And he told me that it's the fermentation process, and I said, "Okay, all right, I guess we're done here with this conversation then."
Well, yeah, the guy spent more time than you in Nicaragua, so he
Yeah.
knows what he's talking
The
about.
fuck do I know? I'm like, I know. I'm just the guy that sells them, and
I
if
have to explain this to people.
I'm buying them from you,
Mhm.
you should, one of the best, some of the best conversations I have in this industry is with other retailers, like Brett Fry at Tobaccology. I always got
Brett Fye.
Oh,
we were gonna call
my
Brett
guy,
Fye,
yeah.
we got to call him.
We were going to call him.
Oh yeah, because he was.
He has a PCA problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I have conversations with him,
Uh-huh.
I'm like, man, he's fucking right.
Yeah.
That's 100% correct, dude. Absolutely. Yeah, you're at. So like when I talk to him from a wholesale side, and he says his point of view, I'm like, yeah, man, I got no response
nothing.
to
I'm
that.
sorry,
Yeah,
I got
yeah, absolutely. You want me to call him real quick?
You were going to, he had something he wanted to say.
The cool thing with Brett is, so first, I was born in Switzerland, right? So when I was 9, I moved to the U.S. And when I started kind of getting into the U.S. culture, I always wanted to meet some guy called Mac, okay? Someone called Bud.
Right.
And someone called Bubba. And I wanted to say, hey, what's going on, Mac? Hey, what's going on, Bub? And the very first time I went to Brett's store,
You caught all of them.
there was a guy named Bubba who
Of course.
worked there.
Yes.
And he doesn't work there anymore. But I'm like, oh, man, like you have fulfilled one of my childish
Childhood
things I
dreams.
wanted to do.
One of 3.
Cross these off my bucket list.
Since then,
Brett.
I found a Bud, but I have not found a Mac. But
Oh.
my wife's last name is Macinich, so I'm kind of there.
Very close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Oh.
close. Very
Yeah.
close.
We can default on that, I guess.
But
All
yeah,
right.
Brett and Bubba.
Let's
Yes.
give Brett a quick call. He's not going to answer.
Actually, there's a gentleman across the street that has a friend named Mac.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Oh.
I could make your dreams come true.
Oh. I'm coming back for an event
What's
here.
up?
Hey,
Say he answered.
you're on the
The aliens are here, Brent.
you're on the podcast.
Oh,
Brett
Okay.
Fry.
And you're on the
What's
phone
up,
with,
boys?
that's Clean Fabian.
Clean Fabian.
Do you know Clean Fabian? He used to be
I
formerly
do know Fabien.
formerly
I don't know
Dirty
what he
Fabian.
smokes, though. Do you know what Fabien smokes?
I'm smoking an Aganorsa Connecticut Toro right now.
Yeah, because
I
we're
gotcha.
Delicious.
Yes.
we're out of shisha. So
Yeah. Yes.
so
So we're validating.
we're busy validating. But you had some grievances in regards to the PCA, and you wanted at that point you wanted to express yourself, and we wanted to give you the platform, the opportunity to do that. Would you like to do that still, or have you cooled off?
I mean, I've cooled off, but absolutely I would.
All right.
Because we're being told,
Yes.
so we're being told that
There it is.
the reason the PCA was moved to the spring is so folks would be not out of their shops during a busy time.
Yes.
So we moved to the what can only be called winter, where we're at,
Right.
and it was scheduled for arguably the busiest weekend of college basketball
Oh.
in the country.
Okay,
Yes.
so Brett,
There's something like
I do not want to talk.
130 games.
Let it go.
March Madness.
Brett, I don't want to talk for the
No.
PCA, okay? But you're completely wrong. It's only the third busiest weekend in Las Vegas, okay? The weekend before is the busiest, and then the weekend of New Year's is the second, and then the weekend we're all going is the third busiest.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
I can't wait.
Yeah. And mind you,
Yes.
moving to the spring where literally the top half of this country is coming off a downswing of part-time smokers not smoking in our shop. Not everybody lives in Florida. Not everybody runs a shop in Florida. Right? Not everybody.
Yes.
Some of us have people that don't smoke with this smoke. It's just the way it goes up here. But you know what? All we do is wear blue jackets and try to push the good on the rest of this country. But nobody cares because of a few loud people. So you know what? I've decided I'm going to be loud now. That's what I've decided. I'm just going to be loud. I'm just going to walk around screaming about how much it stinks for me to be here at this time.
I look forward to seeing you, Brett.
Oh my God.
Can't wait to see the screen.
You too.
He's such a good person, dude. You know,
You too.
thank you so much for, we started off kind of mild in this conversation, and you got triggered, which is fantastic for me. I really appreciate that. And, you know, just don't take it out on any of your customers, maybe an employee if it's warranted, but
it's always warranted.
it's always warranted. Let's be honest. Yeah.
You know,
You can call me the love, not just push button. You know that, right?
Yeah. Well, you know,
Okay.
I could. I guess I could.
hey, Brett, like 4 or 5 years ago, I'm watching a baseball game on ESPN, and it's the Nationals and the Phillies, and they're announcing and whatnot, and I'm like, there's this like guy that keeps yelling like over the announcers. I'm like, I don't know. Brett's got to be in the stands or something.
You never know.
The next inning, there's a picture of they have, this is the guy that's been yelling, and you were there arguing, and probably you were yelling at Bryce Harper because that was the year when he left the Nationals to go to the Phillies.
Is that true? Is that true?
Yeah, we won the World Series, 2019.
And you lost it, and you were the guy.
He lost his mind.
Listen, if people make silly decisions, they need to know about it. Right? Just the way it goes. Applebaum was the only person who stood up to that joker, that prima donna. The only person. Telling you.
At what level of beard did you have at the time? Like, where are we talking? Full length, or was it trim?
It was somewhere between lumberjack and wizard. It was really different.
Lumberjack and wizard.
Yeah. I hadn't gained the full powers. I was like Gandalf. Yeah, I just hadn't gone there yet.
You're figuring it out.
Yep.
I love that.
Yep.
Man.
Okay, well, the PCA has now heard your grievance. And,
I'm sure they're big listeners.
We'll make sure that we tag them for you.
Super big.
So
okay,
and
thanks, guys.
And then I'll send it to Coop as well. I'll make sure that Coop, because apparently they listen to him because now you have free media that comes in.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Well, you might want to wait another 2 weeks till he's done with his top 25 of 2023.
We're not done yet? I thought
He's still got Person of the Year, Company of the Year, Factory of the Year.
Oh.
He's got all those.
Were we even mentioned at all?
No.
I didn't think
Not
so.
even show of the
I
year.
mean, we were pretty aggressive. Too. Like, I'm not. Can you open that door a little bit? I mean, something. Can we get some. This is it's very smoky.
Brad, I can't wait to see you, my friend.
You too, buddy. Hope you're doing well.
Oh,
Phil.
I'm loving it. I'm
He's
loving
turning
it,
that
man.
fan on.
He's doing fantastic.
Awesome.
He's clean Fabien. Now.
Yep, clean Fabien.
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
he looks very nice. He has a tie and everything on.
Yeah, he's been working on his biceps.
Wow.
I got
He's
my
got one big arm.
I got my Tom Cruise lookalike Magnum PI shirt
Yeah.
on going on right now. Yeah.
It was super
Wow.
impressive when he walked in. I was
Yes.
like, dude.
Yep.
And he was
No,
way
right.
early.
Yeah, not only that, the guy showed up like 3 hours early for the podcast.
It's
Yeah.
like it's not the Nelson
Nice.
Mandela effect; it's the Terrence Riley effect. It's pretty crazy.
That's right. Yeah, I know. I got my
Listen.
khakis on. Yeah, I mean, it's weird.
Oh, he
Listen,
does.
let's not give Terrence any fucking credit here, okay?
I'll tell you what, though, I'm a big Paul fan, buddy. I
Me
love
too.
me some
That's
Paul.
Uncle
Me
Paul.
too.
It's my Uncle Paul.
Me too. Me too.
Love me some Paul, buddy. Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
Me too, man. Me too. I'm in the office, and when I'm in the office at 2:30, he comes and gets me from behind the computer, and he goes, "It's time for us to smoke, and it's time for you to learn Aganorsa tobacco." And I love
yeah.
that hour. Every hour, every day, I love that hour because I learned so much from that guy.
Oh, he's a man. And he came up to a golf tournament one time, and we just drove around and made fun of people and smoked cigars. It was the best golf tournament I've ever had. It was absolutely awesome.
Nice.
It was awesome. He wore a live hair, in case you're wondering.
Yes. Probably, yes. Yeah. Probably Casa Fernandez. Yeah. Yep.
All right, brother. Well, we'll
Awesome.
let you go,
All right,
man.
boys.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you too.
All right, bud.
Take care.
Later, Brett.
Brett Fry of Tobaccology.
He's still on that alien attack in Miami. He texted me all weekend.
Yeah.
I said, I told him, I was like, look, I don't know, man. I think if it
I
was really
engaged.
aliens,
The problem is I engaged.
he sent me
Yeah.
some things,
Yeah.
and I said, if there was really aliens, we'd have some serious footage. You know what I mean? Not
Right.
that kind of
There's like
blurry
8
image.
million aliens. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but not like
the ones that attacked the mall down in
yeah,
Miami.
yeah,
Oh,
not the dark,
oh,
scary
okay.
kind
Oh,
from
okay.
a
The
spaceship.
10 the 10-foot tall.
That's a totally different alien.
Came through a
okay, sorry.
portal.
I
They
apologize.
Oh yeah, not those aliens.
Okay.
They actually
Yeah.
came out with a thing about that. They
what?
disproved it.
Oh,
Yeah.
everybody's disproved
They
it.
had to.
Well, I mean, like actual Miami media, like
Yeah,
the
no.
newspapers.
Well,
and
actually, the
everything.
police department came out and said, "Yeah, no."
right.
I mean, there were 75,000 police officers at this mall.
Yeah, but has anybody ever been to Miami?
Everybody was getting look, dude.
I
There's
live in
an active
Miami.
Shooter. There's so many cops down there.
Look, everybody was gunning for overtime. Is what that was.
Okay, so the question is, did the Miami department speak in English or in Spanish?
I would say more Spanish than English.
Okay, so it's the truth. So whatever they spoke in Spanish was the truth because the
Yes.
majority of them don't speak English,
Right,
right?
exactly.
So yeah, whatever they're speaking in Spanish, that's the truth.
Yeah, it had to be
Okay,
legit.
all right.
100%.
Yeah.
I was going to call Hector on that today and say, "Hey, do you want to comment about the aliens?"
Tyler tagged him in the post and asked him what was going on. Hector hasn't said anything.
He wouldn't engage.
No.
He's like, "I'm retired."
Yeah, I'm not getting into this.
I'm not allowed to say.
You know, I gotta say, like, when I was invited to talk on this podcast,
Yeah.
especially on today, I thought we were going to talk about the Buccaneers, man, the best team,
I was just waiting.
the best team
Sports.
in the NFL. I mean, we've won our division 3 years in a row.
I was,
Granted, the records were 13-3, 8-9, and 9-8, but we've won our division 3 years in a row.
I was waiting for it.
And right around the
knows
same
a lot.
time as
Yeah,
Mike started buying season tickets,
Yeah.
so the whole
We became
Buccaneers
fans.
crew
Yeah.
wants to know if you're buying season tickets next year.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Every-
we're going to win the division again next year. All right,
Yeah.
perfect. Good,
Yeah.
good,
So
good to know.
We
All right.
we have had tickets
At least the last 3 years.
longer than that.
But yeah, I'm only giving you credit for the last 3
all right,
years.
so for 3 years. So we had it for 3 years. But I got it for my son because I wanted to cultivate a fan. I was like, hey, we'll go to these games and stuff, and it was reasonably priced. And then I fucked up, and then I bought front row tickets because they became available. And now every year I kind of cry a little bit. I mean, I didn't cry when Brady was there.
Okay.
It was amazing. If I didn't go and I could sell the tickets, it was awesome.
Okay.
Selling the tickets this year,
A little tougher.
little
Huh?
rough.
Yeah, but you're gonna get the
When are the
playoff
Cowboys
ones.
coming in town?
Well, we were hoping that they were going to come to town. Well, so my neighbors are big Cowboy fans.
Uh-huh.
So I told them, I said, hey, if it winds up, we're all going. Because Brittany wanted to go. She goes, I want to go to the game. I said, okay, fuck it. Well, then she never says, I want to go to a game.
Okay.
So when she goes, hey, I want to go, I'm like, okay, cool. Like, let's all go.
All right.
And then, of course, Philly fucked the dog and they stopped playing. They went lost 5 out of the last 6. And now it's better for the Bucks.
Yeah.
Because our odds are better, I would say, to
Yep.
beat Philly.
Yep.
I'm just deciding if I go to the game or not. I don't know.
Oh, so it's still 50-50 right now.
Yeah, I'm up in the air.
Is the wild card game in Tampa?
Yeah, it's Monday night.
Yeah, Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football.
And then if they win that,
then in my books, they won everything.
Right.
The season ends
then
after.
they would go to Philly.
No, Philly's coming to Tampa.
Oh, Philly's coming to Tampa.
Philly made the wild card.
Yeah, Philly's a wild card team.
Dallas took the division.
So you get at least 2, well, right now you get 1, but they probably charge you for 3, right?
No, they charge as you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, in Miami, they charge everyone for 3 already.
Oh, really? How's that going to work out?
I don't know.
Hey,
a lot of
really
refunds.
I will tell you this. What really kind of fucking sucked is the XFL.
Yeah, you saw the merger.
Yeah, so the XFL merged to the USFL, and they're the UFL or something.
Yeah.
And they dropped the Guardians. We had bought season tickets.
Yeah.
So the Guardians?
Yeah, the Orlando Guardians.
Oh, I thought it was the Cleveland Guardians.
No, this is the football
XFL.
team.
Oh, okay, all right.
And I'm going to tell you right now, the fucking most fun I've had at a football game was with this goddamn Orlando Guardians, because everybody in the stands, well, who was there? Who was not? There's not a ton of people, but they're all Guardian fans, right?
Yeah.
Like if I go to the Philly game, I know I'm going to be surrounded by Philly assholes, right?
Yeah.
That didn't happen. Or the kids could run around, and there was no pressure. They enjoyed themselves. So I upgraded. I got 5 tickets to cover my whole family this upcoming season.
Huh.
We're over on the shade side. I took front row. I'm like, this is going to be awesome. They cut the team.
Why?
Team gone.
Oh.
They merged.
With the merger.
They merged the USFL and the XFL.
Oh, and there's 2 teams in Tampa?
No, and they dropped like 4 from each.
Oh.
Yeah, because they brought all the teams from the USFL.
So they're like, oh, Orlando.
I went to the original XFL
He hate
championship
Yeah.
game.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
When I believe it was Tommy Maddox was the winning quarterback. I don't even know which team it was. It was at the LA Coliseum, and every other person had the "He Hate Me" jerseys on, and the dude didn't even play.
Yeah.
I mean, it was phenomenal.
What a great name.
Oh, dude! Like, I at one time I had a hat of every single one of them. It was like the Birmingham Rage, and the Cleveland Colossus, and whatever. I mean, but yeah, it was Yeah.
So my kid was
the Las Vegas STDs, I mean, yeah.
So Jax was not happy when they were fucking gone. He was very upset.
Oh.
So I got an email saying that they're going to refund my money. So I bought a new TV for the family room.
Oh, all right.
Nice.
I upgraded. Yeah.
All right.
Now he can't use that TV. So I'm like, he's got his own play area. I'm like, no, you don't get to touch that TV. So he's he's more upset.
Lost twice.
So yeah, he's upset about that. He doesn't know if he's going to the playoff game. It's just, I'm like, dude, like we fucking do a lot for you, bro. Like, you continue to ask, give me some fucking space here. So I don't know what I'm going to do I don't know if I'm going to go to this game or not. So we'll see.
It's a Monday night.
It is a Monday night.
It's a school night.
It is a school night.
So, I mean.
And you can sell the tickets.
That means nothing to me. I could sell the tickets.
They sell easy.
They would sell very easily.
Yeah.
Especially with Philly in town.
Yeah, well, the one bad part is they've lost 5 out of the last 6. So, I mean, I talked to a couple of buddies of mine who are Philly fans, and he goes, are you going to game? I said, I don't know. The Philly fans are idiots. So, you pay top dollar. And he goes, yeah, not when you lose the last 5 out of 6. I don't know. I'm like,
It's still playoffs.
I guess you got a point.
I guess, yeah. Did you see our offense this week?
Yeah, it was rough.
They definitely struggled.
So I think a team might win with a -1. I mean, it's going to be golf scoring in this game.
Well, I like Baker, man. I think he's a good quarterback.
You and I have had some
Palmer loves
conversations.
Got a lot of heart.
He's grown on me. He's definitely grown on me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, he hasn't grown, and he still can't see over his starting lineup.
Neither could Drew Brees.
Well, yeah.
Or Doug Flutie.
Yep.
They're going to pay him.
They're
They're going to give him a 2-year deal. It's $50 million.
Okay.
Well, who else is there?
You got to suck
Trask?
up. I mean, look, Brady took some money, and they kicked that down for a couple of years. So they got to offset that.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Baker. I do like Baker.
Right.
Justin Fields, he's going to become available.
Right.
He's always hurt, though.
Yeah, I don't want that guy.
Yeah, why do you want somebody else's problem?
Yeah.
He's always hurt.
Yeah.
As fun as he is to watch, guy's always fucking.
Put all the money in the defense. Come on.
Deshaun Watson's coming available
Defense
too.
is the only reason why we won the fucking game.
I know. Put the money in the defense.
Right.
I love was it the Larry David and
Levante David,
David
and Antonio Cromartie
and then White, whatever the two.
Devin White.
45 and 50.
Are you a Bucks fan?
45 and
Shaq
54.
Barrett?
He knows the last name.
I know 45 and 54. I know those are the two dudes.
Shaq plays?
Shaq Barrett.
And then there's a Yaya Ding Dong, whatever that dude.
I love
got a
Yaya.
sack.
Yeah.
I love Yaya Ding Dong.
He got a sack over the weekend.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, who's this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vita Vea.
Vita Vea.
Big
Vita
boy.
Vea is a lot to cheer about tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did a great job.
Well, because he's from Washington.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Washington, Michigan. I didn't even know the final college game was tonight. Washington against Michigan.
It's gonna be a
Which-
big game.
I don't really understand, because they don't go by records, right? Like there's an undefeated team, Florida State, who didn't even make the playoffs. So I don't even understand.
Yes.
But whatever.
He's a big Florida State fan. He's very
baby.
yeah, the baby's very
The baby.
very sour about that.
Yeah. So
Well, they did lose.
wanna talk
Didn't they
about it.
lose one game?
At the end,
Yeah.
the bowl game. They lost the bowl game.
Yeah.
because they didn't play 27 people.
Oh, yeah.
It's a
Oh.
protest game.
Which I think was a shit move.
Well, it was a protest.
Okay, yeah,
Oh.
I get it. I understand that. I understand what they were doing. They said, well, hey, fuck you. We're not going to play.
Yeah.
Right? I get that. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm a fucking team owner and I see a bunch of guys that didn't get their way, so they didn't play fucking football, I'm not paying them millions of fucking dollars to play on my team.
Well,
Because I can see the type of attitude they have.
the university don't pay them nothing other than
But the
Scholarship.
NFL will pay them. right?
Yeah.
A lot of those guys are entering into the draft, right?
Yeah, but okay, so you got a lot of guys that are
Yeah.
entering the draft. They didn't play.
Yeah, do you remember Johnny Manziel with "Hey, pay me, motherfucker"? Yeah, he didn't go number one because he was a douchebag.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of the Florida State guys it's going to cost them millions of fucking dollars.
All right, we're just gonna pass this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Let's see if a Florida State guy goes top 10
Okay.
in this draft.
Yep, we're gonna pass.
I'm telling you from an unbiased opinion.
I get it.
Like, here's the one thing that I will give fucking Tua credit for. During fucking COVID, during the fucking draft, when everybody was doing their Zoom fucking from their couches as they were being drafted, they're all in gym shorts and t-shirts. Motherfucker was in a suit, fucking sitting there, waiting to get drafted. I'm like, that's my guy. That's the guy that I would aim for. The guy who's going to show up no matter the fucking circumstance.
Yeah, but you know what they called him today in Miami, in the
What?
Miami newspaper? It's Tua turnover.
because he threw the pick at the end.
I guess. I don't know. I didn't even watch the game, but
Dude,
yeah.
Josh Allen's got 22 interceptions.
I mean,
Which the funny thing is I'm talking to our rep, Jeff Groover. Phenomenal guy. Great dude.
I love Jeff.
He's a big Miami fan. And we were having a discussion where I'm
have the one lighted that works.
working on Aganorsa varsity jackets, and every rep was able to pick their colors.
Oh.
And he's like, oh, I want to get like the colors of the winning team in Florida. I'm like, oh, Tampa Bay?
The Bucks? Yeah.
He's like, no, Miami. I'm like, well, last time I checked, the Buccaneers had more championships than the Dolphins
Right.
did. And he's like, yeah,
true.
but we went undefeated. I'm like, yes.
In the 70s.
Yeah.
so what? Still an argument.
Who was alive back
Those
then?
fucking 50
Yeah, exactly.
years
Yeah, yeah. But they wore like leather helmets.
Yeah.
Palmer was alive.
I was like,
Oh, so did
Yeah.
they really wear leather helmets?
yes.
Oh, okay.
They look
all
like
right,
the guys on the Olmec cigars.
They look like the Olmec.
Like
Yeah,
the
they
old
look
man
like
guy.
the Olmec guy.
Okay. all right.
Bob Greasy wore that leather helmet all the time.
Who?
Bob Greasy.
Yeah. He's a good guy, huh?
He was
Was
a
he
good guy.
greasy?
Bob Greasy.
No, he wasn't greasy.
Oh,
He was
okay.
quarterback.
He wasn't that greasy.
Oh, he wasn't.
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He didn't do the 2-year fermentation process.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Mm.
He just did the standard.
Just standard.
Yeah.
What is the
9
standard?
months.
9 to 12 months.
Yeah.
Oh wow! And you guys did 2.5 years.
2 years to 2 years and 2 months.
Wow.
That's what water does. It speeds up.
Speeds it up.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's like you could go hyperthermic in 70 degrees of water,
So
but
then
you couldn't
Fabien,
in 70 degrees air. Right?
so then by you telling us that, is there a difference in the cigar smoking now that you're doing because you're smoking Arganosa versus what you were smoking before?
You know, I tell everyone it's like I at Thanksgiving, there's a children's table and there's the adult table. For 19 years, I was at the children's table. I was smoking those sweet cigars and this and that, whatever. And you know what? People, okay, 20 years ago, there's 2 major steps in a cigar smoker's journey. Okay,
Yes.
Number 1 is I'm going to start smoking cigars,
Right.
and number 2 is I'm going to try traditional cigars.
Right.
Right.
Okay. 20 years ago, there's only one major step, which was I'm going to start smoking cigars. Because 20 years ago, before 2000, in a sense, people started smoking cigars with Romeo and Julieta Reserva Real, with Macanudo, with, all these mild cigars. Then acid comes, and you have Tatianas, you have CAO flavors and all that. So then there's a whole new group of people that when they start smoking cigars, they start smoking cigars with sweet cigars.
Right.
And then that's when the major step number 2 happened, is when a guy who smokes a sweet cigar then gets introduced or wants to start smoking a traditional cigar. Because as we all grow up, we all know what sour, sweet, bitter, peppery, with all that stuff, but we never grew up understanding what tobacco tastes like. You don't necessarily understand what tobacco tastes like until you start smoking different types of tobaccos, different types of cigars, and then you're like, oh, okay, I like Nicaraguan, I don't really like Dominican, Honduran's okay, Cuban, so you start getting the intricacies of each of the tobaccos, because as we know, each country is known for a specific intricacy, right? So there's 2 major steps, and some people go through the steps faster than others. It took me 15 years to go from a sweet cigar into a traditional cigar. I was handed Liga Privadas. I was handed Undercrowns. Yeah, I smoked them. Did I really know what I was smoking? I just knew I wasn't smoking something sweet, and I wasn't appreciating what I was smoking. Now I'm smoking traditional cigars, and through the help of actually Paul Palmer and a whole bunch of other people that I talked to, I actually enjoy traditional cigars a lot more than I enjoy sweet cigars. I still smoke a few sweet cigars here and there, but I enjoy traditional cigars because I try to test myself. Oh, is this Corojo 98 or Criollo 99? Oh, is this Dominican that I'm tasting? Or is this Honduran? So as I grab a new cigar, someone gives me a new cigar and they're about to tell me about that cigar. I'm like, hey, hold on. Let me cut it. Let me light it. And let me ask you, or let me tell you what I'm tasting, what I think I'm tasting. And then you can tell me, if I'm right or wrong. And that's how people learn about these cigars. And I've taken that to heart, because now as I'm seeing, new people, and the cool thing is I've forgotten the date. I wish I had the date, but I'm doing an event, a big time event here.
Yes.
At Cigar Hustler.
End of March.
It's at the end of March. I think it's the last Thursday of March, right?
Or Friday.
Or last Friday. Last Friday, maybe the 29th, I think.
Sounds about
okay,
right.
So I'm coming here, and at Aganorsa Tastings, we do something called Fuma Tastings. And there's going to be
March 29th.
So you come down and you want to get into a ticket for one of those Fuma tastings. And what we're going to actually do, what I'm going to be doing with everyone who gets a ticket is I'm actually deconstructing a cigar and then reconstructing it. And what I mean by that is I'm literally going to give these people one leaf at a time. We're going to smoke one leaf, and we're going to understand what that one leaf does. Oh. And then we understand what this other leaf does. Because here at the end of the day is I'm sure we've all smoked a whole bunch of cigars, and we've been around with a whole bunch of people that are like, oh, this is a very well-balanced cigar. I mean, we've all heard that saying, right? And
sure.
maybe some of us have told other people this is a well-balanced cigar. But after you go through this Fuma tasting, you will truly understand what a well-balanced cigar is, because of the different leaves that you will be trying one at a time will affect different regions in your mouth. So March 29th, come down, call Cigar Hustler, put that in your calendar, do a Fuma tasting with myself. You will never taste another cigar, or you'll taste all your cigars after the Fuma tasting will be completely different, and you will enjoy your cigars to the next level. And it's phenomenal. I mean, I can't stress this enough. It's one of the things that really excites me about being at Aganorsa, because every manufacturer does events, and there is the buy 4 get 1. There's you buy this, that, and the other. You're going to get a hat. You're going to get a steak knife. You're going to steak knives. You're going to get a backpack. You're going to get a car. You're going to get a whole bunch of stuff. But at the end of the day, I think manufacturers should dumb down a little bit the extra stuff and give more information to the cigar smoker, because the cigar smoker actually is taking time out of their schedule. They want to enjoy a cigar, and in my mind, if I understand what I'm enjoying a little bit more than what before, right, it's a win-win for everybody.
Sure. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. March 29th.
March 29th.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's better than the.
Sounds pretty cool.
I mean, listen, nobody's getting anything for free, right?
No.
The reality is that if you're getting a hat and you're getting a cutter and you're getting all these things, you're probably paying more for that cigar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that.
And a lot of cigar smokers are uneducated, so that's kind of cool that you're doing that type of event.
Yeah. You know, I mean, here's the cool thing. Last cool thing about Aganorsa, right? So, yes, we have a lot of tobacco and we grow cigars and whatnot, but it is one of our core beliefs of Eduardo Fernandez, who owns Aganorsa Tobacco, that he wants every cigar smoker to be able to smoke all our cigars. Now, our core line, yes, we have JFR, but JFR, a lot of people still don't know that JFR is made by Aganorsa, right? So when I talk about the core line, it's the validation line. It's the line that we have. We have 4 different wrappers, and those cigars are $8.99, $9.99, $10.99, right? And then our most expensive, I already said, was the Aniversario, which is $17.99, $18.99. So in a sense, the guy who smokes the $9 cigar will have 1 or 2 things throughout the year to celebrate. So he wouldn't necessarily mind splurging a little bit more. And in our mind, splurging $7 more is very doable compared to going from $10 to $27, right?
Right.
So in a sense, when we say it's our most expensive cigar on the shelves, it's nowhere close to that particular store's most expensive cigar.
Right.
But you can get the different aspects of it, and you can treat yourself a little bit and whatnot. So that's cool, because our cigars, most of all cigars, are anywhere between $8.99 and, let's say, $18.99 in states that have no tobacco tax.
Right.
Now, with that said, we are coming out with a new cigar this year. We are celebrating our 25 years. I don't really know when the cigar will be released, probably sometime in the summer, but it will be our 25-year anniversary cigar. It will be a one-time release. We'll have only X amount of boxes, and most likely that cigar will be around $25 to $27 on the shelf.
Oh, nice.
But with that said, that's our first splash into the ultra premium, cigars and whatnot. But still, we're still focusing more on the meat and potatoes aspect, because, Mike, your average cigar sale is probably $10, $11, $12, right? I mean, it's not.
Yeah, I'd say it's slightly higher at this point.
Okay,
maybe about $13, $14.
Yeah, so
After
we're
COVID
right
and
there.
bullshit.
Yeah. So
yeah, so you're perfectly in that. You're in that category.
That's what we're focusing on. I mean, it is what it is. With even though we've been growing tobacco since the mid '90s, we still really well known for our leaves, and we're still out there talking about our tobacco, our tobacco and our cigars, and that's why I'm going out there doing podcasts and all that stuff, and doing all these events and whatnot. But I want to give information, and at the same time, I want people to try, because at the end of the day, here's the coolest thing with these fuma tastings, right? So predominantly we have 2 main tobaccos. We have Criollo 98 and Corojo 99. And then if stores carry the Cerberus, which you guys will be carrying Cerberus, then we will also
don't we?
we will also try the Corojo 2012. So what happens is as they're trying one each individual, and then we'll be trying 2 together, and then ultimately we'll try all 3 of them together. The final question is, which one did you like the best? And why is that a very important question? Because whatever they tell me, then most of the people, I guess, may not necessarily know anything about Aganorsa.
Right.
And when they want to go into an event, they want to support the store and whatnot, but they also want to buy cigars that most likely they're going to enjoy.
They're going to like them, right?
And the rep can, use all these crazy labels and this and that, whatever. And, this is a go-to, this is our bestseller, blah, blah, blah. But again, we all have different taste palettes.
Right.
But here, your taste palette is telling me what was your favorite. And depending on what you like your favorite, then I'm going to put you towards what line you have a better chance of tasting what you really, really enjoyed.
Right.
So buying the cigar after the fuma tasting, most likely you have a much better chance of enjoying that cigar, the new cigar,
right,
a lot better, because you told me what you enjoyed better.
Nice.
So
are we over an hour?
So I got to stop talking
At this point.
Okay, Mike, time for you to talk.
So
I don't do
He doesn't
It was a great show. Thank you very much,
He
guys.
doesn't,
Thank
he
you very
doesn't say shit. Well, quickly, just to kind of wrap things up, I'm going to say really fast that, for one, I love you, man. You're a hell of a guy. You've been a great friend for all these years. And, that's not ending anytime soon.
Nope.
And I think that one of the best things Aganorsa could have fucking done was hire you, dude. 100%. It's
nice. Thank you.
They are extremely lucky to have you, dude. So
it's a great match, man. It's a great match. And like I said earlier, is I was telling everyone I was never going to come back in this industry.
Right.
And when Terrence called me and he's like, "Hey, I'd like to talk to you," I was interviewing Aganorsa more than he was interviewing me, because I knew whatever he was going to ask me what to do, what I could do, I'd done it, right? So so whatever they were missing, I've already done it.
They knew
I
what
did
they were getting with you
for a big company, right?
Right.
So but I was not going to go back in this industry for just anybody.
Right.
And in 15 minutes into this conversation, I realized how much of a stand-up guy Terrence is,
Right.
and that he believes. He is a
very stand-up
I gotta
guy.
look up to him. You know, I mean, and he's always validating, and I wish we would use my bicep instead of his for our logo. But you know, I mean, we can work on that in the later years.
Yeah.
But
Suggestion box.
I realized that he thinks like me. It's things get done. It doesn't matter who got it done. Just things get done. And I truly enjoy this, because I'm not here to get the credit for anything, because I couldn't care less. At the end of the day, I just want to sell more cigars, and you know, I don't want to deal with bullshit. There is bullshit here and there,
always.
But ultimately, we're here to sell more cigars. We have the tobacco. That's one of the best things. Is as a manufacturer who wants to grow, they're always looking to get more tobacco, right? And the manufacturer has to buy tobacco 2, 3, 8 years ahead of time to plan. Here, if we need more tobacco, we just go next door and we just grab it, right? So
you don't have that problem.
That's the cool thing. We have a better chance of ramping up our sales a lot faster than other manufacturers who 2 years ago planned for a 10% growth, and they bought enough tobacco for that 10% growth, right? So yeah. But I have much love for you and the family, man. I always phenomenal Christmas card, by the way, gangster style.
Happy
I mean,
holidays.
You flew the whole family to East LA for that picture.
We did,
huh?
Yeah. It was Compton. Yeah, it was
nice. Okay, nice. I like
we went hard in the paint.
And there's nothing I wouldn't do for you guys, man. So my phone's always on, and I enjoy solving your problems just as much as catching up with the Bucks or how the family is and whatnot. So
absolutely, dude.
Much love.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's.
There's another mic in the show.
If you could push for like a LE edition cigar called Baby Giraffe, that would be fantastic, because Terrence really needs his own individual select brand. I mean, he could do specific events for it or whatever, but a Baby Giraffe cigar would be amazing.
That would be good.
Yeah. All right.
I will put it in the suggestion box.
Yeah, if you could do a Zoom meeting about it, that'd be fantastic.
Perfect. Yeah. Even better.
Does Aganorsa do the Zoom meetings?
No.
No, they don't.
We could. We have the capability of doing it, but I mean, you know, we just do our meeting. Here's the coolest thing, right? I mean, I know there's so many cool things, but it's like going from a company where they told you what your opinion was,
right,
to a company of, well, what do you think?
Right.
It's like the very first time that happened to me, I was just like, wait, what? Like, you didn't tell me what I should be like. No, we really want to know.
Tell me what I'm supposed to think.
We want your opinion.
I'm like, wow. And then at the same time, as anytime they're having a meeting, it's like, oh no, we got to wait for Fabien. It's like Fabien's got to be in this meeting. So ultimately, it's like, okay, well, I came in to help out with like 2 or 3 things, and now I got like 19 things. And and by the way, I'm working on the PCA booth now. Okay, so or whatever. But you know, it is what it is.
I hope that you have March Madness bets, apparently, because Brett Fry is going to be very agitated.
Very upset. Yeah.
Always pick what is it for a 12th seed to be the 5th seed or something?
Is that how it works?
I don't know, but I was told there's more 12th seeds that beat 5th seeds than anything else.
Oh, so interesting.
Put your money on it.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Yeah.
All right, so let's close this out. Thanks again for coming on, Palmer. What else do you have to add?
That's it. It was episode 315.
Yes, Phil.
315.
Phil,
Mr. 315.
315, baby.
No, nothing to add. This is great.
All right, cool. All right, thanks again, bro.
All right, thanks, Fabien.
Peace out.
All right.
A-Town.
A-Town.
The Cigar Hustlers Podcast, its owners, and its sponsors take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the talk show host or their guest. Statements or show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of Mike and Mike Productions or the podcast providers, and opinions between talk show hosts may differ. It is not our intention to libel, incite, or hurt anyone's feelings. We invite you to write the show's host, Mike Stepankevich, with any feedback or suggestions that you have for their shows. These broadcasts are presented and made public as entertainment in the hope that they will be entertaining to the audience.